Hey, what's up guys, it's me. Today I have a very interesting video. Today I'm going to see if I can get older video games that use the audio video wires to record in 60 frames per second using the Elgato. Because, you know, the older video game systems, they don't have an output of, an HDMI output. They don't have that, so only the older Elgato has that, which of course records it only at 30 frames per second. But I'll show you what I bought, and let's see if we can figure this out. I'm gonna fool around with the stuff I bought and see if I can get this going. And if it works and you still haven't figured out how to record older video games at 60 frames per second, then hopefully my idea will. Now, a while back, I actually bought some things here, and I bought, of course, one of these. I hope it works because I don't think I can return to the store. You know, an Elgato HD60S, and then, of course, you need a converter. I have not got to open this yet. I got it in the mail. I'll show you what it is. Now this is pretty much what I got here. This device in that pink bubble wrap package. It's a mini composite RCA CVBS audio video to HDMI converter. And does 720p or 1080p, which of course we need. And I did extensive reviews on this, and this one seems to be having good reviews. I don't know if anything new or came out since February, since that's when I bought it, but I had it sitting, had no time to fool around with it. But this is what I mean, like older systems like Nintendo 64, or, you know, PlayStation 2, you know, Super Nintendo, NES, stuff like that. And I'm going to attach this to the Elgato, and then I guess it's going to convert it to an HDMI TV, which I'm going to be doing next. So, this is the hookups here, and you can pause these. The idea, I'm sorry, that one can't come up better. So now let me go back and check on it. Like most typical people on YouTube, you know, we all fantasize about certain things we want to do on YouTube, and one of mine is to do some streaming with older games. So it comes, when you get it shipped to your house, it comes in a package like this. Of course, it's an Enco product. You know, please contact us first before shipping back the item, opening it by case of Amazon, leaving bad reviews or listing, filing a claim. Really? Before leaving a bad review? Well, hopefully it doesn't come down to that for me. Oh man, isn't this something? I guess Enco is very highly aware that people these days on YouTube will review anything, so now these days, false advertisement from the official creators, you know, not that they're false or anything like that, I'm just giving an example for general. They can't get away with things anymore since we now have YouTube for people to review everything. And then, oh nice, a nice coupon, and the instruction manual, which is pretty cool. It says HDMI output up to 60 Hertz, which is exactly what we need for 60 frames per second. So hopefully this works. So far this is looking really good. I'll quickly tell you about one bad thing in the past that happened to me. I had one of these pretty much, and I had the old one that pretty much you know, records at 30 frames per second, the old video games, the audio video wires, yellow, white and red wires. And the thing, when I attach one Elgato onto another one, because, you know, if you output it to the regular TV screen, the original Elgato, it'll output it at 60 Hertz, but, you know, while it's recording at 30 Hertz, the first version, you know, the older one of this, that's not 60 frames per second. So therefore I'm thinking, okay, how about, instead of me outputting the 60 Hertz HDMI wire to TV, how about I hook up to one of these and then have that one you know, record at 60 frames per second. But for some reason, if you hook up two Elgatos together, you'll get a flashing black screen, and it doesn't work. So I was not happy about that. You cannot hook up an older one to use the older connections, such as these connections, you know, to the older Elgato, then to this one to record it at 60 frames per second, and then have it. It actually, it does not work. You cannot hook up two Elgatos together. So save your money if you're thinking about that idea. It doesn't work. It's a shame they simply just didn't design this one with the input for these connections as well, and the composite wires. I still haven't figured out how to get the composite wires one, which would be really cool, because, you know, systems like the Dreamcast and, you know, Nintendo Wii uses those as well, and other systems, of course, which should be even better. I haven't figured that out yet, because I haven't figured out about buying a product like that. So it's, to me, I'm making pretty much a video seeing if I can record these on Elgato at 60 frames per second by using this. So pretty much this is what the video is about, and let's see if we can do this. Oh, and one other thing, this is a great product. This Enco product's a great product to have if you have one of those newer, cheap made, you know, HD TVs that doesn't come with these older hookups. So that, you know what I mean? And that way you can use these and hook it up to a newer TV that doesn't have these connections by using this adapter. So that's one great thing I can always use it for if this doesn't work. So I'm just going to be opening it up, and here goes my money. Okay. And there we go. Now I'm going to see what this one comes with. Before I fool around with the Elgato, by the way, the Enco converter comes with, of course, the device, USB, and of course a plug, so it needs its own, I guess, independent power source. And it comes with a nice, looks like a 3 feet HDMI wire cable. Now for the Elgato, it comes with an HDMI wire, just like the adapter, which is really nice, and this special USB wire to, I think it's a C-type plug-in, which of course I believe plugs into this. So I guess that's that. I wanted to hook up my Nintendo 64, but right now I kind of misplaced it, so I think I'm just going to hook up my Super Nintendo and see if I can get a thing recording on that. So yeah, it's a Type-C USB. One thing I like is on the bottom of it, it has nice soft rubbery padding. I feel like I'm doing a little bit of a mini review here. I need to get back to the real focus of this video. So right now I have my Elgato output plugged into my monitor TV, which will be the screen I use to play my old video games on. The Elgato is plugged into my computer, and look how cool that is, it lights up. So now after taking out my Enco finally, I'm going to output HDMI output to one side of the wire, and then next is going to go inside of the Elgato. So now I have this, and that side's in there, and of course now to plug it in to the Elgato. So now it's plugged in. So now the adapter is plugged into the Elgato. The Elgato is hooked up to the laptop, my computer, and a TV to play the game on. Now what do you think goes here? You know what goes here. Now time to hook up one of your older good video game systems. I must not forget now to also plug this into a wall and then plug this into my adapter, the Enco adapter. I just remembered that it also uses an external source of electricity. Unfortunately, the wire is so short. It's like no more than 2 feet. You're probably gonna have to get an extension cord, like how I'm using this, to actually power it up. So that really sucks. You might also buy an extension cord. Remember, you have to now get the drivers and of course install a software recording program to do it, which of course it's here on the Elgato box. I know there's other softwares you can use. I need to do more research on that, but I'm just going to find anything just to see if I can get this going. A little quick story here. When I was a young person back in the early 1990s, I got one of these Super Nintendos, the original, second, not the first original model, but it looks like the original model. Pretty much, I got this when I was very young, and my Super Nintendo never turned yellow. I got the last version made of this style type of Super Nintendo in the picture here. I just saw this one used for $125 Canadian because I regret trading it in a long time ago, and then I bought this one brand new, which is version pretty much to the model design. And funny enough, my older Super Nintendo, unlike the other first versions of the first model looking design, never turned yellow. When you look at this one here, the one I saw and took a picture of on my cell phone, it has still never turned yellow. Not at any point in time, this one here. And this is the exact one I used to own. It never turned yellow. Some of the Super Nintendos never turned yellow for some reason. I got this one brand new. I kept it in brand new condition. And if you look where the seam is, it's already starting to turn yellow. When I looked at the one in the store just lately, that used one, that's older model than this one, of course, it still doesn't turn yellow. So I noticed that Nintendo made cheaper plastic ones, good plastic ones like this one, and then cheaper ones again, where it starts oxidizing and turning yellow. Anyways, I kept this one in brand new condition. I took well good care of it. I'm going to hook this up and see if I can get a nice 60 frames per second game running on it. So I hook up the audio video wires to this, of course, and then I get going. And then just plug it in and get started on it. Which game shall I fool around with? Let's give this one a try. F-Zero would have been a nice game, but I don't have it on me. I'm going to give this one a try. Also this one might show also pretty good in 60 frames per second. Let's not forget the controllers now. Surprisingly though, this one's turning a little yellow, the original one, and then my, one that came with version 2, still not yellow. I need to make sure I preserve these things. So after you plug your Super Nintendo in, the electricity, then you plug in the 3 wires, the right speaker, left speaker, and then picture video. So Super Nintendo, 2 adapter, 2 Elgato that's connected to your game screen and your computer. And we're getting something so far. And some really good news, everybody. So far, it's showing on both screens. Now, if you hooked up an old Elgato to a newer one, this would not be working. Here's the thing, though. This game is like 480p. I don't really see a point in me recording this in 1080, unless I'm going to stretch it out or something. Okay, I have it on 1080. I'm going to try it in 1080 because I'm going to go all out. Though, I can go to 720, which is better. Convert standard definition 640 by 40. This makes a lot more sense for older games, though. So you really don't need to be recording, of course, older games higher than somewhere around here, 640 by 40 or 720, just to be safe. If it's of course like something more modern, like, a PS3 or a Xbox One, PS4, you know what I mean, a Nintendo Switch, Wii U, then of course you're gonna put in 1080, 60 frames per second, but those ones already have HDMI. Of course, there's just a little tiny delay on the recording of your computer, so that's why you play it on a separate screen. That's one thing you gotta keep in mind. And there's probably better software than this I could use the Elgato for to do the recording, but like I'm gonna test it now. So right now I'm recording. I'm just gonna get the demo for now. So I'm gonna record something quickly. Almost there, guys. So now I'm getting something. I should be recording on the TV screen, right? It runs smoother for now. So my camera's recording this at 60 frames per second, and the computer should be recording my Super Nintendo at 60 frames per second. We'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna stop this video file now, and I'm gonna see. Now I'm gonna see what it could have created. Let me try something here. Hit this little button in the corner here, PRO, I think it says Pro. Okay, now I opened up something here. I think this is the video file, 118 megabytes for 50 seconds of recording. Now let me check the details on this. It's 1080, the width is always, the 1080 is represented by the height, and it's 60 frames per second. Now this is sweet. So there you have it, guys. It seems to me that you can record old video games using an Elgato on 60 frames per second, as long as you get, of course, the Elgato Capture HD 60. You don't have to get the S, I don't believe. That's just a little bit more money if you want things a little bit smoother. And if you have USB, I believe 3.0. But you have to buy one of these. You look back on the earlier part of the video, I showed you where I bought this from. I actually got this from one from the United States of America, Amazon.com. Not CA, though I live in Canada. So, it does work, and I'm very happy to see this actually working. No eject button here on the older Super Nintendo model. It does work. 60 frames per second. Talk about the Super Nintendo Mini coming out pretty soon. It's a shame that Mega Man X3, I don't believe, will be on it. Now I'm gonna try to put together a little quick captioning of me playing it, because I've never actually done streaming yet. I was fortunate that this TV has the headphones in, so I'm gonna be only hearing noise from my headphones while the laptop's, the computer's silent. The TV is going to be silent except for my headphones, because when it records the video, it's going to record also the audio. So why would you also want the video game noise to be bleeding back into the camera if you're recording yourself, if that's where you're going to get your audio? Or if you have an extra microphone separately, you can plug it in the line in of the Elgato. So it depends on how you want to record it, because when I'm talking, when I'm going to be recording myself, I'm going to be recording myself through the camera. So just keep that in mind. Unfortunately for me, this TV doesn't seem to be working properly, so when I plug in my headphones, it still didn't mute the TV and go through here. So I guess I'm just gonna have to do it the ghetto unprofessional way right now. Well, I just figured out a new idea. How about I just quiet down the TV, put this to mute. I know there's gonna be a delay, a latency delay, unfortunately for me, because the computer, you play it off of this screen, so there's going to be a little delay of sound, but I can just plug my headphones in from the computer instead. I'll just do that in the meantime. At least something I can get to work right now. The great thing about the Elgato, if you buy the S version, if you have USB 3.0, if you're fortunate, is that there's a lot less latency, because it does a lot more work. So it might just be on time enough for it not to bother me. So there should be barely any latency at all if you get the, like I said, the S version, the more expensive one, which I love to buy expensive stuff.